I want to share a quick little story with the listeners. I just felt like compelled to share this. So like last week when we went to, and I'm not sure when we'll put this out, but it could be several weeks before, but do you remember like after church, me, you, Lisette, and mom went to go eat, and then we went to this other place to like have a couple drinks.
Oh yeah. Dara or something like that? Yeah.
Over in Legacy West, and like it was just a really special moment. I'm not sure even how to describe it. It could be a God moment. Could be anything, But like just to make a long story short, guys, we were just having like me and Chris were having a couple beers, and then my mom and his wife were just having like some food and stuff, and some guy just next to us, he kept like looking over and stuff, and then he just finally. Actually the bartender said, hey, like the guy next to you guys took care of your guys' bill and tab. And we were just like, what? Like, we just couldn't really believe it. We're like, is the bartender messing with us, or the waiter guy messing with us? And no, it's like, turns out that guy just like picked up our tab for all four of us, which was very generous. And just, you just don't see that very often these days, guys, like that form of generosity. And, come to tell. And then after that, like he was right there, and we thanked him, for doing that. And he was telling us that, he felt like the need to do that, like to pay it forward, that someone did that for him too. And that he's battling cancer, and that he only has like a little bit of time to live. Yep. And it just, man, it broke my heart. Like it like pierced my heart to where I'm just like, wow, like that is crazy. And it just puts life into perspective sometimes, like how short life is and how precious it is. And just the beautiful people that are here, that you encounter. And like I said, it could be a God thing, that maybe God put that person in our life and showed us that, like just to help us with our journey and our faith to continue just like growing. But it was beautiful. It really was. And then, my mom gave him like a little like bracelet that she had given to one of her family members that passed away of cancer. So he broke down in tears. My mom broke down in tears. So it was a really special moment, guys. And like I said, I'm still trying to put that together as to like what that all meant. But, I've been it's been sitting on my heart, my mind, and been wanting to share that. So, maybe that's just something valuable to you guys just to hear that. And I think at the end of the day, we all need to be a little bit more generous, right? More generous with our time, our talent, our treasures, even though, you can make excuses of like, oh, money's tight, this and that. But, God will always provide, guys. And, if your faith is there and, you have that heart, then you guys should pay it forward sometimes and do, random acts of generosity like that.
That's good, man. Yeah. Because I totally forgot about that too. That's crazy. Like,
yeah. So just wanted to open up with that. But all right, let's get into it, guys. Let's go. We got a Q&AF show today. So if you're new to the show, that's question and answers format. And you guys bring us the questions, and we answer 3 questions on the show. We get in, we get out, and we drop you guys value and answer these questions to the best of our ability. So if you want to submit these questions to us, email them to support@chrisericmartinez.com, and then put subject line podcast question, or just check out the show notes below, and you guys will see that. But other than that, guys, really quick, there is a fee to the show, nothing monetary. All we ask is this is a simple value exchange. If you guys could share this podcast out, on your socials to people, leave us a rating and review. That helps us a lot and just grow this podcast and reach more listeners and help fulfill the mission that we're on, with like just really inspiring people through this podcast. So thank you for that. Okay, let's jump into the questions, Chris. So you want to go ahead and read the first one off?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, I'll tackle that one.
All right. Chris and Eric, I have been consuming your content for quite some time now, and it's been really awesome seeing your spiritual journey evolve the last 3 years. What made you guys get more spiritual, and what's a good place for someone to start in their journey? Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I love this question. This is a great question. I was looking at this question before we started, and it's just kind of suiting as to how I opened up this entire discussion. So it's tough. Like, I don't know. It's hard to like know where to start with this all, but to be honest, guys, like before we moved to Texas, 3 years ago, we were born and raised in California. We grew up Catholic, and, to be honest, I'll be honest, my parents were just kind of going through the motions of just like, their faith and religious beliefs. And it really, they didn't do a good job of leading that. I'll be 100% honest. Now what I know now, they could have done so much better, but they did the best they could with what they had and what they knew. So that's why I respect that. But yeah, just like it wasn't a big thing in our family to like be religious, like put God first. That was never a thing. So, you just go through the motions, you go to church here and there and like do your thing. And Catholic religion's very different. I'm not here to bash Catholic religion or anything like that. It's just that wasn't for us. It just didn't speak to us. But fast forward, when we lost our father, we lost our faith. We were angry at God. We were just playing the victim roles, this and that, right? Went down that whole thing, got in trouble with the law. We've talked about that several times on this podcast. But, after that, when we moved to here, Dallas, Frisco area, like I said, I don't know if that's a faith thing, a God thing, but he put us in Frisco, Texas, where there's a big church community, big Christian hub. Right down the street from us was Elevate Life Church, the church that we still go to today. And it's changed our lives. It's changed our outlook on everything in our spiritual life, everything. Like it's a privilege to go to that church, and we've met some amazing people there. Everyone's great there. So just going through that, going through the programs there to Mighty Men, we did Freedom. It was a very intense Bible study. And then we, go to the Bible study every Tuesday morning, we go to church, we were plugged in, like we read the word every day. We got baptized, over a year ago and gave our life to God. So, it's a compilation of things that really led us to where we are today. Yeah. Like, I don't want to spend too much time on all the details, but that's what led us here today, with our spiritual, just like, like hunger for God, and wanting to put God first. And I'll let you like answer some of this too, but I'll come back to this, like as to where this person might be like a good place for someone to start.
Yeah. And I think the only thing that you missed on that was just, I think it was a God thing because, when we left Los Angeles, I remember we were in an Airbnb in downtown Dallas for a full month, right? We had nowhere to live besides the Airbnb. We had that we had it all paid off for a month. And like, we could have went anywhere. We could have stayed in downtown. We could have went to Plano. We could have went to Frisco. We could have went to Prosper, Addison, whatever, right? Dallas is big, but we ended up, loving Frisco, Texas. And it was just crazy how the church was right down the street from where our home was there, So I think it's 100% a God thing, and I think that
I agree.
That detail of like us being there, in an Airbnb for a full month in downtown Dallas, there's no coincidence that we were meant to be here, so. And I think it goes back to what Pastor Keith said. I always forget. I think it's in Matthew, but he says that the book of Matthew where it says, "Seek the kingdom and its righteousness first, right? And everything will be given to you." So
Matthew 6,
I think the kingdom that we needed to seek was Elevate Life Church. To renew our faith with everything and get closer to God. So that's kind of my thought on that.
Yeah, and I think just again, like guys, like from our past, like we were living a lawless life, to be honest, and with no direction, and we always knew that something was missing with like all the gifts and talents that we had, like even though we were still like, reaching success and helping people and building these businesses, like something was missing in our heart and our spirit and soul. And that was God.
Yeah,
it really was. So that's why we're here now, and we're nowhere, like where we want to be like spiritually, but we've come such a long way to where we're so bought in to where it's like, there's no going back. And like, I love the person I am. I love the person you're becoming. And I look back at that person, 3 years ago and even before, and I don't recognize who that is.
Yeah.
So the second part of this question to answer, like, where can you start like in your spiritual journey? And, I feel like this is part of my mission to, again, help people seek the kingdom, see the kingdom, and just understand it more. So I think the best place to start, guys, is like you guys have to just like, get plugged into different churches. I don't want to just say, hey, go into being a Christian. Like that's not, I'm not here to do that. Like I believe in all different types of like, faiths and everything, whatever, floats your boats. Yeah. Like a higher power, but just figure out what that is. Like what resonates with you. Is it Christianity? Is it Catholic? Is it Buddhism? Whatever, just energy, like figure that out and then find a church, find like a sanctuary, find like a group of people that are practicing that and walking through that and applying that through life, and just go from there, like kind of just like surrender to that. But the biggest thing I would say too, like don't make the mistake that we did here too, because we first got plugged into the church, right? I think we went way too hard. We were trying to accelerate this learning curve way too fast. Yeah. And we almost compared it to where it's like almost like a business lens to where I can openly admit that.
Yeah.
Cause I was so inexperienced. I was spiritually immature, and I'm okay with admitting that. So, we try to just get plugged in with all these different programs, and just like it consumed so much of our time to where like we were so new to this to where like we couldn't even comprehend all this stuff that was going on, like the word of God, like the signs, the this and that. And it was overwhelming to where like we had to take a step back and be like, dang, like I need a break. So we took like a, 4-month break from all that stuff, and really just soaked it all in. I think that was the best decision I made, because it made me understand that, like, look, this is my own race. I can't compare my spiritual journey to like all these other people that are so much more far ahead in advance, because they've been putting God first in their life and they understand it more. So that made me come to peace and be like, okay, chill, Eric, relax. Like, just like, this is all in God's timing. Like, trust him. He knows he knows better than you. He has the plan. So just like, take it one day at a time and put him first. Like, every single day, how can I be the best for God is my mentality. So that's my best advice for you guys. And again, if you are like seeking Christianity, I would say open up the word of God, the Bible, and start with Proverbs. Start with Proverbs, because it's like the foundation of everything, and it's very easy to consume. Read one proverb per day. There's 31 proverbs, and there's no excuse that you guys can't sit there and spend 10 minutes and read a proverb and consume that and take action on it, because I promise you it will change your life.
I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, dude, come on. I was literally watching this video, watching this interview, and you literally just pop up on the screen and interrupt it. Trust me, there's a good reason for this. Just hold on, and I'm gonna let you get back to that interview or that video. Trust me, all right? So the reason why I stopped you on this is because we're giving away our book 100% free. Okay, so if you're a frustrated fitness professional, you're not growing fast enough, you're looking to future-proof and recession-proof your business by adding online training, or if you're doing online training, you want to scale and grow faster, all you have to do is check out our new book. We're giving the audio away, we're giving the PDF away. So all you have to do is click the link below in the description box and get your free copy. All right, so now back to the video.
And yeah, and then I guess the other option too, like, read Proverbs, but then there's some great sermons on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
really good ones. Like, look up our pastors. It's called Elevate Life Church. You can find it on YouTube, all the recordings there. I mean, it's not the same as being in person like we get that privilege to do, but it's really, really good. I'll tell you that. So there's a lot of good sermons and good pastors on YouTube these days where you guys can slowly, get, ingrained to it and the consumption of it, so that's where I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question though.
Cool.
Okay. So question number 2, Chris and Eric, what is one of the best pieces of advice you have heard from a mentor of yours?
Shit,
dang, that's good.
There's so many. I think the first one that just comes to mind is like when we were in Ty Lopez's, his business builder program back in 2017. That was just such an invaluable experience, man. The price tag was worth every penny. It was $25,000, guys, for 1-year business builder for Ty Lopez. And this was in Beverly Hills. You'd get to go to his mansion quarterly for that full year, and you'd be there for 2 days. And we'd be up. It'd start like at like noon, and we'd be there until like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And that's when he was just on fire, dropping the gems like after 10 p.m., So one of them, he said, I remember, was like it was actually in his garage where he had all of his cars and stuff. And he filmed like some of those famous videos, but he talked about being impatiently patient over patiently impatient. Yep. I'll never forget it, because I always stress this to my students as well too. And really kind of like the takeaway with this is just have more damn urgency. That's what it is. And stop like, thinking about stuff so much. But you want to be impatient in the beginning to where it's just like, you just join a program, you join a mastermind, you hire a coach or something like that, right? And just dive into it, right? Because too many times people are being way too patient, like doing their research, quote unquote, like, or, just finding the perfect quote unquote program out there, or the perfect mentor, or the mastermind, or whatever it is you want to do, right? I'm using a business context for this. And when you're so patient and you take 6 months to make your decision finally, right? And you join a program, and let's just say for some reason it doesn't sit there and float your boat, right? Or, it doesn't quote unquote work, or you're disappointed with the program or the coach or something like that. Well, you think about it, you took 6 months of just your quote unquote patience, right? Of jumping into this. And when you're in the program now, you start being super impatient with everything, because you're like, man, I am titled of these 6 months of me being so damn patient. Now it's like, okay, I need results right away in a month, 90 days, whatever. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's a bad mindset and a bad kind of frame of mind to go into. So don't be patiently impatient. Instead, be impatiently patient. So again, using that same example, join a program within like a month. Jesus, it doesn't need more. You don't need more time to think about it. Okay. Be a little bit impatient in joining that program, making your decision. Then when you're in that program, be patient. Let the system marinate. Let the system work, right? Let the coaches do their thing. Let the community do their thing. Put in the work every single day. And I promise you'll probably get better results over the person that's sitting there being patient and then impatient inside the program. So that always stuck with me, and I think it just makes a ton of sense.
I like that. That's a good one. I would say even too with that, like have realistic expectations. Okay, let me share mine, and I'm going to go with Pastor Keith.
Okay.
When we were in his mastermind, because it's just more recent, and I think this is really good. But he said too many people have not become the person they were desired to become because they become the person they settled for. And I remember him saying that, and I was like, I had to hear that a couple times, and I wrote it down, and I was like, that is so good. And it's just a true testament, guys, to where it's like, you guys have to change the way you guys think. That's another thing he said. The biggest challenge you guys will ever have is changing your thinking and leading yourself. And the reason why you guys are settling for that version of yourselves and not fulfilled is because, again, you're not leading yourselves, and you're not sitting there expanding your mindset. You're stuck in that same just like default thinking. And you should be like living that life by design, not by default. Like, stop surrounding yourself with like, people that are just playing small in life, playing not to lose. You have to take chances, guys. You have to have urgency. You have to be impatiently patient, like Chris said. You have to invest in coaches, masterminds, mentors. Like, you have to invest in yourself. That's how you become the best version of yourself. Like, you had to put God first. That's what I believe. But that is like one of the best pieces of advice that I heard, because I'm like, it's true, man. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind of like the current situation that you're in, and some people, like, I get it, respect, have like more on their plate than others, more adversity, and, but again, we were all dealt, the same deck of cards in life, and it's like you have to play the hand that you got. That's what I truly believe. So you can't make excuses. And that's just that one piece of advice where I'm just like, too many people settle for that person, that they are today. And it's like, everyone has greatness, but it's up to you to unlock that.
Yeah. It's kind of like that quote that I love too, where it's like Ben Franklin, where he says, most men die at age 25. Yeah. We just don't bury them until they're 75. Yeah. It's the same for men and women though. It's like after 25, people just settle for who they are. They don't want to grow. They don't want to become, they don't want to kill that person at 25 to have the 2.0 version come out of them, Yeah. I like that. And it's sad. It really is, because life is so short and you don't know when your time is, and your mind, man, it's incredible. It really is, to just elevate it and the possibilities of it and the life that you can live. And it's sad when people sit there and just settle. They don't sit there and get, tap into their God-given potential. They don't invest in themselves. They make all these damn excuses. They let the limiting beliefs and fear just literally, just paralyze them and cloud their minds in life, So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's like a war zone. Every day you're going to war with yourself and your mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Number three. I often get very frustrated with myself, my clients, and building a business. What do you guys do in these moments, and how do I control my emotions better? Go ahead. I like that. I would say the first thing is like, frustration, right? We all get frustrated.
Oh yeah.
I think that's normal. I get frustrated. You get frustrated. I wake up in frustration every day, guys. Like I could openly admit that. And you guys could say like, you're crazy or that's like weird or whatnot. And it's cool. Like, I'm different and I don't want to be like everybody else, but my form of frustration is because I know that I could always do better and that there's more out there for me. Like there's another version of myself that I want to sit there and, discover, develop, and deploy. Mm-hmm. And, if I'm not frustrated, that means it's like, again, there's no sense of urgency, and it's like, I'm comfortable with where I'm at. And I don't like comfortable. Comfortable kills. Comfort kills. It does. So frustration, it's a God-given emotion. It is, and it's a healthy thing. I think you need to look, the way you need to rewire your frame of mind and perspective around frustration is turn that frustration into your motivation. I really do. Because how can you not be frustrated from time to time with life? Life is not easy. Whoever says life is easy is so full of shit. They really are. So
even the Bible says it's not meant to be easy and sunshine and rainbows.
You're meant to go through trials and trials and trials of, adversity. It's just part of it. So it's like, how can you not get frustrated? But it's all perspective. It's all how you like look at it. And, just one frustration will come, you'll get past it, then the other frustration will come. So just anticipate more frustration. Nothing wrong with that.
All right. I'm about to drop a knowledge bomb on you guys right here.
Let's do it.
So this is from Pastor Keith. We actually taught this in our Monday mind growth session that we do for our coaches every single Monday to have them play offense and break those limiting beliefs. So I taught this actually July 17th. I have it right here. And this is hard to remember. So that's why I wanted to bring it up for you guys to read this correctly. But I got this from Pastor Keith Craft. Okay. So he said, frustration is a God-given emotion because God has more for you. The key is, how do you mitigate the frustration to not allow you to go down a negative rabbit hole? Here's how frustration works. If you don't handle your frustrations well, you end up disappointed. If you don't handle your disappointment well, you end up discontent. Example, not happy anymore, your job, your marriage. If you don't handle your discontentment well, you end up losing hope. When you start to lose hope, that's when you quit. Yep. So the reason people quit is because they didn't handle their frustration well. Yeah. And that's so good. You know, but I think it's like what you said, like, it's okay to be frustrated. You know, accept it. It means you want more for yourself. You know what I mean? It means that you want to get to that next level, that you want new things, you know, and you want to achieve your goals and your dreams and all that stuff. You know, you don't want to just settle for what you have. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, so it's okay to be frustrated. The key is what our pastor said. Just don't let it sit there and have you go down a negative rabbit hole and take over everything, because once you lose hope, that's when I truly believe that once you lose hope, you want to hit the quit button. And I can speak for myself in that too, you know?
So and we all go through it. We're all human, guys. We're all human. No one's perfect. No one has it all figured out, but that's what we're all here for, is to get 1% better, you know, just feed off each other, you know, collect more wisdom and apply it, and just use your voice to, you know, reach more people, because there's so many people out there that need you guys, and they need to hear it, and they need to get inspired, and they need a kick in the butt as well too. Yeah. Yeah. Great questions, though. These were some really good, deep questions. I really like these. So thank you guys for bringing the heat today. I have a little bit of sweat in my back from that, but I'm okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll land the plane there, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Share this out. Leave us a rating and review, and go out there, live a dynamic lifestyle, and play bigger, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
All right. I hope you got some value from that Q&AF right there. Besides taking action, the next thing I want you to do, if you're a health and fitness coach, you're looking to build a six-figure business, there's two ways to do it. Download a free copy of our book. That's on us. The second way is watch this next training, 6 new ways you guys can build a six-figure health and fitness coaching business.